Hello, everybody, and welcome to Unscripted Access, episode number 92. You're here with your host, Nick McCandless. On this week's show, we also have Anthony Ta.
Hello.
And Bronson Fiore.
Behold the might of Stormwind!
Bronson, that's for the... Shh, Bronson, that's for the raid.
So for those of you who have been playing Hearthstone, you know exactly what that means. And for those of you who haven't been playing Hearthstone, what the fuck? Why haven't you been playing Hearthstone? It's fantastic. So, there you go.
So, let me just say, before we begin, E3 is finally, right around the corner.
Oh, dude,
It's a week and a half away.
It's exciting, it's nerve-wracking, it's making me look at my finances. But, oh, God, it's great. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, I cannot wait. It's going to be so awesome. But moving on to the news, something that was supposed to be announced during E3 but got leaked is Battlefield Hardline. A 7-minute gameplay trailer was leaked, and this video that's leaked, the graphics don't look all that great, but let's see here. Visceral Games general manager came out and said that the video is 6 months old, so the game looks a lot better now. Pretty much here's some quotes from him. He said, "So yeah, that happened. Not how we wanted to unveil Hardline, but all good. Didn't want to wait till E3 anyway. So let's talk about it." AKA, they're pissed, and they're gonna go out of their way to find whoever leaked this and probably sue them to their utmost power.
I'm just
wow.
He also said video that's out there was for an internal meeting. It's 6 months old now, and team has been cranking since then. See the real deal at E3. He also said, excited to see so much buzz for the old footage. Love it. Can't wait to show you how much further the team has taken things. And then he said, we're pouring everything we've got into this and stoked to share details on June 9th. Maybe even a little more before then if you want it. Have you guys seen this? What do you guys think?
I've seen it, and I don't know. I thought that footage itself looked pretty good, but I'm just I just don't give a shit about Battlefield anymore. I don't care.
Agree. I used to be a big fan of Battlefield, but it's just I'm getting so tired of it. So it's yeah, it'd be cool to see, but I'm not that excited for it.
Don't get me wrong. I always, I enjoy. The Battlefield games are fine. I enjoy them. I've always kind of preferred the way Call of Duty plays a little more, if we want to go to that comparison. But even then, just modern military is just a setting. Just you could not if you had to pick my least favorite setting, that would probably be it. And just I don't care. Battlefield Hard. Do you want to know how they'd get me to care if they said Bad Company 3? I love the Bad Company.
Oh, Bad Company 2 was awesome.
Bad Company 1 was the shit, dude. And it's purely because just they're not your standard military shooter. It was really funny, and the campaigns were really well made, and I really enjoyed them. Versus Battlefield 3, when it's all serious and war and serious, I'm just ugh, I don't care. And that's a shame, but that is the case with that game. I just do not give a shit. So yeah, I don't know. I would have preferred to see Bad Company, or just maybe anything else. The last modern military game I was fuck yeah, this is awesome, was Spec Ops. And it wasn't even really before its gameplay. The gameplay was fine. It was more because of the story. That's why that was. I don't know. This has the potential to be cool, I guess. That seems to be my opinion.
Yeah, I agree, but from the standpoint of EA, they've got to be so livid right now. Because
someone is getting fired somewhere.
They're not just getting fired; they're gonna get sued out of the ass. Because stuff like this, they are required to sign what's called a non-disclosure agreement, and they might have to dig deep, but I can.
Nick? Anthony?
Yeah,
this isn't just like a 3-second video clip that sneaked out. Like this is a 7-minute long video that was meant only for internal purposes, and it says in the video something about confidentiality agreement with Electronic Arts, something like that. So they're gonna really dive deep and figure out who leaked this video, and their job's gonna be gone, and they are going to be sued because this is an announcement that would have been huge for EA. Like, regardless of whether you like Battlefield or not, a new Battlefield coming out, like, that's a huge E3 announcement. That's huge for EA. And now that's a huge announcement that they no longer have. Like, let's imagine, like, let's say, like, this is kind of on the scope of, for EA, if Sony was going to announce God of War and someone leaked an entire video for God of War 4 all over the internet. If that was Sony's big announcement at the end, then they wouldn't necessarily be ruined for E3, but that huge announcement's no longer effective. So now EA is kind of in that same situation where they're like, damn, we just Battlefield Hardline. Yeah, most people probably knew they were going to announce a new Battlefield. We already know how this whole thing is with Battlefield and Call of Duty. They're turning into yearly franchises as they have 2 or 3 different development studios take turns developing the game. But at the same time, this was something that EA was really excited to show. And, I mean, they'll still be able to show probably a lot more than we saw in that video. The video doesn't really show that much. It just shows more Battlefield. I mean, it shows a couple things. Like, you'll probably be able to engage in, like, there's cops versus robbers online, which I think will be pretty cool. They showed, like, bikes. So it looks like there's going to be, like, a bike element where if you're, like, a cop, you can hop on a bike and go after the robbers. It looks pretty cool. So it's like, I don't know, man. EA is going to really dive deep and figure out who leaked this. And whoever leaked it, I feel sorry for you, but then I kind of don't, because people like you are the reason why a lot of people lose their jobs and why a lot of money is lost, because this was supposed to be huge. And now that's something EA no longer has. I mean, yeah, they had to announce it, but it's not going to be a surprise anymore.
I mean, like, well, you know, like, I think that it sucks for EA, but on the other end, I'm just like, it's more Battlefield. Like, if this was something, like, if last year they announced Battlefront, like, if they would have announced, like, if they didn't announce Battlefront last year, and then this was, like, 7 minutes of Star Wars fucking Battlefront, like, then I would have been like, yeah, that's what you should be leaking. What's up? But this, I'm just kind of like, yeah, okay. You know, like, but this, I'm just kind of like, yeah, it's more Battlefield. Great. You know, and not to say that's necessarily a bad thing, but it's also not going to get me super stoked. I don't know, like, you know, and there's not much there's not much from an EA press event that could leak where I'm going to be like, oh shit, yeah. It's going to be like more like, yeah, and that's partially just because EA plays it really safe a lot of the time.
Well, yeah, the thing with EA is, with the NBA, like, their NBA franchise kind of bombed. That's because they went up against NBA 2K14, and it came up horribly short. Like,
well, yeah, that NBA so game they put out this holiday was horrible.
NBA 2K14 was so good, and then NBA Live 14 was so bad. So it's like, it was awful, and it's like they took a break. They didn't make NBA games for like a year or two. So it's like you expect them to come back and make something really good, and they come back with that. It's like, ugh, it's terrible. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with the next one. But I know I'm really excited for it. Have you guys been seeing the EA Sports UFC game?
No, I just do not care about UFC, so no.
I love UFC. I love it. So, oh my gosh, they've been showing all these gameplay videos, and the game comes out like 2 days before my birthday, which is like awesome.
That's the same thing with me, and like supposedly Batman is coming out on my birthday this year, and if so, like, just fuck. I love Batman. I own the Killing. Like, I have like all his best comics except The Dark Knight Returns. Like, I just fucking love Batman, and just oh god. Yeah. So
yeah, but oh man, I'm a big UFC fan, and that game looks so freaking good. Like, even if you aren't a UFC fan, Bronson, Anthony, I encourage you guys to go check out the latest EA Sports UFC gameplay videos they've been releasing. Oh my gosh, like, EA, if you made freaking Madden look like this, oh man.
Oh, well,
Like,
the thing about Madden is they don't have to try, so that's never going to happen.
And also the thing with Madden is you have multiple people on the screen. With EA Sports UFC, it's just really 2 people fighting. But oh my gosh, it looks so good. But gosh, I really come on. I'm really hoping, because isn't this the last year supposedly that EA has the license?
They could renew it.
Well, yeah, they can renew it, but
they will renew it.
Oh God, I'll be so
man,
pissed.
it's like
EA
is gonna, be the only one, and they have all the money to convince all the other sports organizations that they are the only ones who can make a competent sports game.
And you know what?
Because just imagine if they bought the NBA license, we wouldn't have NBA 2K14. We'd be stuck with NBA Live 14. It's like, imagine NBA 2K14 but in football form. Like, oh my gosh, that would be so freaking amazing.
NFL 2K5, Bronson.
If NFL 2K5 and the 2K series would have got to live out its life, like, we would be so much further ahead when it comes to football games now. But that is sadly not the case, because reasons. And that reason is the NFL was like...
Money.
The NFL said, we want an official game and we'll let you guys bid for it. And EA, being EA, was like, we'll throw you a mountain of money. And Sega was like, we can give you kind of some money, but we're a better game. And all... like, fucking... Okay, 2K5. Let's talk about 2K5 for a minute. It was a way better football game. It was $20. Had better
I
online.
remember that when it came out with T.O. on the cover for $20.
Yeah, like, it was $20 fucking dollars. How fucking amazing is that? Like, dude.
It was like a third of the cost of Madden. It was like 10 times better.
Yeah, and like the only thing that Madden. Oh, see this Madden. I like the fact that you could do individual player audibles. You couldn't on defense. You couldn't do that in 2K. You had to go by, I'm audibling all the linebackers or all the corners or all the defensive linemen. But just even now, I will go play 2K now. The offensive line is still more realistic than Madden. The way so many positions play is still more realistic than Madden. And I'm just like, this is sad. This is just depressing. That game is 10 years old now. That game is 10 years old, and it still does some things better than Madden on PS4.
Which is sad.
What the fuck? I'll boot up that game on my original Xbox, and the franchise mode is even better, because in Madden now, they have backload the cap, front load the cap, but it doesn't work like a real salary cap. The salary cap in 2K5 worked like a real salary cap. Not only that, but that game also had you can choose to how your players practice, and how you can make it if you want to, you can be a hell of a hardcore workaholic coach and make it. And if you planned your game plan and your practices right, your players would improve such. Versus Madden, which is I played 3 games and he went up a point for reasons.
Oh man, Madden 10 potential. Yeah.
Yeah. How
that was the only thing that could say whether that player was going to ever reach a 90 rating. There's no Kurt Warner in that game.
Versus NFL 2K5. Your entire team could be just unstoppable badasses if you practiced and trained every position right. The bad news is, though, if you fuck it up, they would go down in ranking. But yeah, I love NFL 2K5. It's the only thing dumb, even the dumb stuff about that game is great. The crib. And the
crib! I remember that.
And you will play football against terrible celebrities.
Oh my gosh, that was so awesome!
If by awesome you mean the absolute worst, I agree with you.
I just thought it was a cool addition to the game.
It was definitely interesting. I will say that. Like it was.
I mean,
It was.
yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna play it that often. I just think it was really cool how they had that.
I mean, yeah, like it's better than a lot of things in sports games that get added. Um, and just like another thing about that game is every possible receiving route was was in the game and worked against some type of defense. There are some routes in Madden that just don't work. They're like guaranteed picks no matter what defense you're playing against. Like it's just guaranteed. And it's super goddamn annoying. And you just kind of have to deal with it. Now I'm just mad, and now I kind of want to do 60-minute access of NFL 2K5. But whatever. God.
Yeah, it's just like one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's probably not gonna happen, but I have that little sense of hope that EA's like, look, like Madden really hasn't like went anywhere, and maybe let's just take a year and just see what happens. If we have a year where we don't give them the NFL license, let's just see what happens.
I mean, like best case scenario, for them is like 2K pushes out a game and it's not all that great, and then after that, Sony, I mean, yeah, if they do, like, they'd have to take a couple years off. But, like, man, that couple of years would be super interesting.
Well, yeah, because, like, MLB 14 the show, have you guys played that on the PlayStation 4?
No, but I've seen it. It looks ridiculous. Like, an NBA 2K looks ridiculous on that system. Like, it's so nuts. Oh, man, it's just...
It's like I want a game. I want that with Madden. It's like it's so evident too. It's like baseball. Well, with baseball, they kind of dropped out with baseball with 2K because they just couldn't compete with MLB The Show. Although if you have an Xbox, you really don't have a choice for a baseball game now. But with basketball, I mean, imagine once again if there's no competition and EA owned the license, we'd have NBA 2K14. We'd have NBA Live 14. And that's where we're at with Madden. Like, if 2K made a football game, it'd probably be the same situation where Madden would look just as bad as NBA Live 14 because we'd have Madden 2K14.
I mean, let's talk about this for a second. Like, up until the next generation of consoles, when the new Madden came out, Madden and 2K were both like high 8s and 9s. The second that 2K went away, Maddens have been like 7, 7, 7, 7, 8, 7, 7, 7, 8, 8, 7. You know, like they dropped
because regardless of what they do, people want the latest football game. They've got to go to Madden. Yeah. They don't have a choice. It's like Bronson, you and I, like we love football, and we aren't the biggest fans of Madden, but we both bought Madden for the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, and the really fucked up part is now
that happens with millions of other people.
And the really fucked up part is like every once in a while I would buy the college game instead because it would be better on occasion. And now you don't even have that option. Like now it's just it is Madden or nothing. It's like you will enjoy Madden for your football video game or you will play nothing. And it sucks. It is the worst, and it's terrible. And God, I hope that they someday give up that license. And I don't care if it's Sony. I don't care if it's 2K. I don't care if it's fucking Blizzard making Mutant League Football. Let's fucking
Blizzard.
Fucking, you know what? Who made?
I want to go that far, Bronson.
Who made Blitz the League? Fucking those guys. Like anyone, just give it a shot.
I wouldn't want them to do it. I just think, like, imagine if we had 3 competitors: Sony, 2K, and EA. Like, imagine how good, because of all the competition. Imagine how good, like, especially like for the Sony platform. Is Sony really? And Sony actually did used to make football games back in the day.
They were really bad, though.
Yeah, they were really bad. But if Sony was able to get a grip on football, like what they've done with baseball, it would be probably the best experience on the PlayStation platforms because it would be an exclusive and they would be able to really fine-tune it for the PlayStation 4. So I mean, you look at MLB 14, the show. Like, this is the first next generation baseball game, and it looks unbelievable. Like, imagine what this game's going to look like in 3 to 4 years when they have more experience with the console.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
But with Madden, I guarantee you, if they keep the license, Madden's, I mean, year over year, the graphical difference will barely be noticeable. I mean, Madden on the PlayStation 4 does look better than it does on the PS3 and the Xbox 360. Yeah, not by much.
Ooh, you get to see footprints in the snow. Ooh, you see more snow. Ooh, the crowds look
Whereas
less
you look
plasticky.
at MLB 14, the show, PS3, and then PlayStation 4, and it looks really good on the PlayStation 3.
Man,
it's a good-looking game. And then you look at it on the PlayStation 4, and you're just like, whoa.
I just remember thinking to myself, why did I ever even take any hope in their supposed Ignite engine? Ugh, man.
Well,
because obviously,
because
marketing can really do something. In this case, you say, this is our next-gen game engine. It's Ignite. Look, our G3 is here, and... You know, look, Don Matrix walking beside Roger Goodell. Oh, man.
But yeah, don't get me wrong. The Ignite engine has done EA Sports UFC very well. The game looks really good.
But in the case of Madden...
That's because with the EA Sports UFC, they have a game to sell. Whereas Madden, about the next Madden, people are going to buy it. Whereas EA Sports UFC, they actually have to fight for the customer's dollar.
It's just
Madden, they don't have to.
The thing I've learned about Madden games is that every 3 or 4 years they become worth buying. Because let's say the first Madden game I bought was Madden 10, and I got that for like $4 or $5. He was been at GameStop, and this was back in like 2012. And then Madden 13 was kind of like a decent step forward. Because you know, every 3 years you feel like you get a decent step forward, and it's like, oh, okay, Madden 13, a nice step forward from Madden 10.
I mean, like I buy every other year, you know, and that's kind of been my principle with it. This year being the exception because I reviewed it and we got next gen. But I love playing that game and I love playing competitively. But they like paying for it every year. Just fucking no.
Like when we go to E3, we're gonna be able to see the next Madden. We're gonna see gameplay of it, and it's just like I hope that at least like the game looks substantial. Like I said, I'm hoping, and I'm probably gonna be let down, but I hope the game looks noticeably better because they have no excuse. They've had an extra year to fine tune this game for the next generation consoles. So I really, really hope, because they showed that teaser trailer, and I sure as hell know when he turned into a video game player, the game's not gonna look that good. If it looked that good, then hey, I'd be praising Madden, like hail to Madden, like. But that shit, it's not gonna look like that. It's not. There's no way. Have you guys seen that teaser trailer they showed?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way it's gonna look that good. I probably will go check out E3, and I probably won't even be able to tell a difference. It'll feel a tiny bit different, but it'll look the same.
And you know, and that sucks. Like that's, you know, it's kind of sad that like there is more change in Mario Kart than going from one system to the next than there is Madden. Like there are so many things you can improve about, you know, the Madden games. But no, like you just don't do them.
Like another thing about MLB 14, the show, yeah, the players look good, but the crowd is an actual crowd. Like there's like I when I was at the Sony event, I can't remember exactly how many there are, but there's like I think there's a couple hundred different audience models. So you don't see the same people sitting next to each other. And the people in the audience actually look like an audience.
Oh, speaking of crowds, hey Nick, have you ever bothered to like pause Forza and look at the crowds?
I did after I watched your guys' 16-minute Access series, and I about cracked up. I never knew they were that bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like
man.
some of the,
They
like, they're
basically
like,
took a bunch of pictures of their employees and just tacked it on there.
but
'Cause,
see,
you know,
but
Europe.
here's the difference. Like, something like that doesn't bother me because in a racing game, you're not meant to be stopped. Okay, so that doesn't bother me. But in a football game, you see the crowd all the time, so they need to look good. And it's like they can't tell me that it's not that. Well, that's a lot of computing power because MLB 14 the show does it, and every single part of MLB 14 the show looks better than Madden, and their audience model is crazy. So
And,
it's definitely possible.
And there's a lot of realism stuff with Madden that's like really fucked. Like, I mean, like I remember I was playing like a couple weeks ago, and I threw a jump ball up. I forgot this corner. He's like 5'8", 5'9". I threw a jump ball up because Demarius Thomas was playing it. He was covering Demarius Thomas. I'm sorry, but this 5'8" corner is not going to beat Demarius Thomas out for a jump ball. Just ain't happening. But Madden, it's a pick six because they don't
that Madden. Tell me what you think, Bronson, but I've never thrown near as many picks ever in Madden as this year's Madden.
Oh my God, no! Like, dude,
this Madden is so bad when it comes to interceptions.
Like, and I mean, are they like trying to go with the effect where it's like you threw more interceptions, the game is harder, therefore it's more real?
I mean,
that's something they would say.
Yeah, I mean, because it's like real football, you would throw interceptions, but I'm just like, but there kind of comes a point where where a person who is a big football enthusiast is gonna know that isn't right. And if it does happen, if it does happen where you have a Tim Jennings against a Demarius Thomas, okay, that's maybe once, but even if it's an interception, I wouldn't say it's a pick six.
I mean, what's really irritating though is like also receivers don't play right. Like, I cannot tell you, like, I've seen drops in the NFL, not nearly as many as I'll see in a game of Madden. And that's on offense and defense.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Like, I cannot tell you how many times I have seen, like, wide open Wes Welker thrown it and just drop. And I'm just like, wow, okay.
Well, maybe in the last Super Bowl, but yeah, normally not the case.
Well, yeah, in the last Super Bowl, they were being mugged.
Actually, Wes Welker, wasn't he like the Butterfingers guy?
That was when he was on the Patriots. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, so
God, that was funny.
So you wouldn't see that from Wes Welker unless he's
Yeah, I'm sorry, but that game, I cannot believe the Patriots won that game. You guys had them up like 17-0 in the half. They came back to win.
See, the thing was that I remembered that it's just like it looks like, oh, the Patriots are so totally losing, but then I remembered the 49ers game. And I do believe that. What, did the Patriots win that game, or did the 49ers lose?
The Niners barely won.
They barely won. Like, the 49ers got way ahead, and then they just choked.
No, let me tell you right now about the Broncos. Like, watching them the past 2 seasons, the Broncos' number one enemy is themselves. Because they're a team who gets complacent and gets cocky, and it bites them in the ass at the worst possible times.
Like it did in the Super Bowl.
Like, you can tell, like I said, the only people on that team that looked like they studied film or were ready at all were Manning, but he can't do anything because fucking... I'm sorry, I don't care how good your quarterback is when he's on his ass because the offensive line sucks, it doesn't matter. You know? Demarius Thomas, Nate Irving, and Terrence Knighton. You know, so... 4 guys on a 53-man roster watched film. Yeehaw. You know, like, and
you could really tell when that first snap happened. It was like, oh shit.
Yeah, like
I'll never forget that.
I'm not gonna forget that either because it's like, all right, this is the number 1 ranked offense against the number 1 ranked defense. Let's go. Fumbled snap.
To make this
first snap of the Super Bowl,
that was the fastest score ever.
History.
Yeah, it was just like, oh man, that is not good.
That's how you knew they were not mentally ready, right there. No, but it happened all 4 of our losses, including the Super Bowl, were fucking just us not being mentally prepared. Oh, we're fucking 7-0, going to Indy. We'll play great. We don't need to worry. Fucking lose by 7 after being down 22-0. Oh, we're up by 17 on New England. Blow the lead. Oh man, we beat the Chargers last time and they fucking suck. Oh, we lose by like 4 points in our house. Like,
Wow.
Like every single, the Broncos are an incredibly talented football team and even more talented now. And it just seems the only thing that can fucking beat them is themselves. And it's painful to watch. Like, it's not like watching a team that just sucks because they lack talent and coaching. This is a team that's coached pretty well, has talent all over. The only place that there's a real hole, in my opinion, is middle linebacker. And, fucking, they will just, when they go on a consistent win streak, it's just once they hit around game 5 is when I start getting worried, because that's when the fuck-up's gonna happen. And that's, I'm just,
where you guys are really screwed, you guys are doing really stupid, is you guys have no plans after Manning.
We do. We drafted a quarterback in the 2nd round last year. That's
I don't know.
Osweiler,
I don't know. I don't really think there's anything there for him. I don't know.
I don't know. Either way, that team is that team has talent beyond Manning. They went to the playoffs with Tim Tebow at quarterback. Not that Tim Tebow's bad, but he's not fucking Peyton Manning. So they got talent on that team. It's just Peyton Manning definitely sets them over the edge, especially on offense.
You guys no longer have Champ Bailey, no more Moreno.
Champ Bailey was fucking old. Champ Bailey was old as dirt. I love Champ Bailey. He will always be one of my favorite players. I will always remember when I was at that Patriot. Champ Bailey sealed the Patriots' first ever, or Tom Brady's first ever playoff loss. Fucking 99-yard pick. Me and my dad are just screaming our fucking heads off. Because the Broncos are up 10-3. Or no, it was 10-6. Patriots, they're on the 10-yard line. They look like they're about to score. Broncos blitz. Brady rolls to the right and throws up in the air, and Bailey picks it off and takes it 99 yards and gets knocked out at the 1. But Champ Bailey was injured all last year, and he, I would say he's a solid number 2 right now, not a number 1 corner anymore. And then, as far as Moreno goes, yeah, that sucks. But Monte Ball did show he could run the ball well. I just don't think he has as good hands as Moreno. Blocking, they're about even also. As for his other losses, who else did we lose? Zane Beatles, not... I'm gonna be honest. He gets owned more often than not. So, in my opinion, moving Orlando Franklin inside, and now that we get Clady back, kicking Clark over to right tackle is probably smart. I don't know. Defense is where we definitely improved. Fucking DeMarcus Ware. Oh god, that makes me happy. Also, Mike Adams is no longer a starting safety on the Denver Broncos. Mike Adams has been on the Denver Broncos since 2011, and he has been terrible all 3 seasons. Okay? I don't know how this guy sucked this bad and played football 11 years in the NFL. Okay? He started as a Niner and sucked. Went to the Browns forever and was terrible. And then Brian Dawkins retired, so we just desperately needed a safety, apparently. And Mike Adams ended up being our starter because Quentin Carter got hurt. So, honestly, I'm actually really excited for our defense this season just because, half our fucking defense was on IR. We're getting Miller back, Harris back, Moore back, Wolf back, Dickerson back. We're getting 5 starters back.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the Steelers season. We have
I think you guys
We
are
made
improving
a
a
lot
lot.
of good moves.
Seriously, like the Steelers last season, I would totally describe them as, you see, this is why you don't give up hope. Because they
I'll
like
say-
yes,
Oh,
they had
gosh,
like
when
the
they-
worst.
that-
They
when
had
it
like the
came to
worst.
the-
They had like they had a terrible start, but then they came so close to the playoffs at the end of the year, and it all hinged on
I
that
cannot tell
one
you how
game.
pissed I was. All because
But-
of that freaking field goal. Oh my god.
But think about
Just
it, like-
because Kansas Chiefs didn't even freaking care about that game. That's why.
Here's the thing.
And it's so much bullshit. Like, you saw the freaking replay, and it definitely should have been a flag.
But anyways, like the point I'm trying to get at is like, look,
And then
guys,
the freaking Chargers got in the playoffs instead of us because of that. And we were on such a good roll. Who knows? We could have went pretty far.
like I remember it was like, to me, the Steelers last season was like, look, guys, this is why you don't give up hope. They almost made it after starting off so bad. Like I remember that one Sunday night game they had.
We started out
Steelers-
0-4.
Hey,
was it like
you know what?
Steelers versus somebody? And I remember the
Anthony-
stadium being like 2/3 empty.
Anthony, as a Bronco fan, we started out the season 1-4 and made playoffs in 2011. Yeah, like that whole season taught me, okay, yeah, the season's not over. You know, like, because when Kyle Orton was our quarterback, I was like, well, maybe we'll suck bad enough to get Andrew Luck. That was pretty much, you know. And have you, like, Kyle Orton? How does that man still have a job? Like,
He's
Well,
awful.
I guess you could say he's a okay backup, but that's about it.
like he is the dad. Like,
He played
yeah,
in Dallas and then screwed up.
Yeah, like I remember when he was in Dallas, like when Dallas got him, and they're happy to have him as a backup quarterback, and they had to win the last game of the season with Kyle Orton as quarterback, and Kyle Orton has a 2-minute drill, and like I was in a Cowboy forum at the time, and they're like, oh yeah, he's gonna lead us down for the win, and I'm like, I would be willing to bet, $1,000 that he fucks this up in some way, and he did. Because Kyle Orton chokes 9 times out of 10. Okay, like, even during that 6-0 start back in 2009 with his 2 game-winning drives, one of those was pretty much purely on Brandon Marshall. Like, we just threw a screen pass and Brandon Marshall's just a fucking monster. And then the other one was literally, like, the name of the play is called Holy Stokely. Because the ball bounces up in the air, and Stokely gets it, and no one else is around him. Like, what the hell? I don't know. Do we got any other...
This
do
has
this about
been
video
really good.
games.
Yeah, this has been really good for football fans, but we need to move along here.
Yeah,
So,
I thought the
as you guys
Gamecast was
know-
supposed to be the garbage dump. Anyway.
Yes, as you guys know, E3 is right around the corner, and obviously Xbox has a new lead, and I'm really excited for that. I mean, we all had our problems with Don Matrick, and so now we have Phil Harrison, which I generally think Phil Harrison is like the perfect guy to lead Microsoft. He just seems like the guy that is all about the gamers.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, like it's almost like they went from having a soulless corporate suit to an actual human being. Surprising.
yeah, so he's been playing. He's now the head of Xbox. Now he kind of plays the role of like community manager. Like we never saw Don Matrick talking to the community unless he was telling them ridiculousness. Like if you want an offline console to the Xbox 360.
Can you believe
and
someone
he
actually
understands that there are people who live in nuclear submarines who don't have connections to the internet,
There-
which I felt was like a slap in the, which I felt was his attempt to slap people in the face for complaining that their internet's not perfect. So he said, "Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure if you're in a nuclear submarine, I can understand why you need an offline system. We do have an online system. It's called the Xbox 360."
I'm just so cannot believe he said that.
Can you believe that? That was about a year ago.
When someone told me he said that, I'm like, you're fucking joking. I gotta see this shit for myself. And I saw it, and I'm like, unbelievable. He said this shit on Spike TV. Like, seriously?
I had just lost my job the week beforehand, so I had the entire week off. So I mean, I'll say this, man. When I get fired at the right time. Like, just cannot line up better with stuff that's going on in my life. And I was following the Twitter updates, post on Facebook, like I'm just because E3 is just constant stream of fucking information, and just I watched that. And I'm like, you're fucking kidding. This is just like what? Real like okay. So first off, there have been several occasions in my life where like I haven't had internet for a couple days, and you may say that oh well, just do something else. Fuck you! I paid $4.99 for this system. I should be able to play games whenever the fuck I want. So that's my argument with you. And then they proceeded to say, backwards compatible. That seems backwards to us, which is ironic because recent rumors have said they're working on an Xbox One emulator or an Xbox 360 emulator for Xbox.
Oh yeah, but that's because they have new management. Things are completely different with new management.
Oh yeah, I know. It's still hilarious.
I guarantee you it's Phil Harrison.
Here's the thing.
Phil Harrison. Whoa, definitely not Phil.
Here's the
Phil
thing that I
Spencer.
thought.
And then the icing on the cake was like, "Oh, you don't bitch about it on Steam." And my response to that is because Steam is a digital download. When I buy games digitally, I understand I am basically paying for air and a set of rights to a game. When I buy a physical fucking disc, you do not dictate the terms of this disc. Fuck you, it's mine, I own the game. If I want to snap it in half, if I want to stab Don Matrick in the eye with the broken pieces, if I want to fucking go sell it to whoever the fuck I want, if I want to go loan it to a million fucking people, I should be able to because it's a physical fucking disc, and fuck you for thinking otherwise. God damn it.
Here's the thing that I always kind of thought when people said, always online, needs to always be online. I'm just like, okay. Unless they take that feature out at the end of the system's lifespan, how do I use this thing in 20 years?
Also,
especially if it's some game that I will never be able to get on some classic section.
I mean, yeah, like you think about that. Like I think there's
like
a lot of
like in this case, like imagine if like Persona 4 is out for PS3. Imagine if it never was. What would I have to do? I would have to find a PlayStation 2 and then find a copy of Persona 4 if they hadn't released it on PS3. So what if you have like some very rare game that you absolutely loved, a game that's as rare as say Xenoblade Chronicles? What if 20 years from now, the only system you can ever play it on is, that always online system, and then they turn off the servers and you can never sign on ever again?
I mean, like, a perfect example
if they don't patch it to take that online thing off.
I'm kind of curious, another perfect example of this for, like, on the 360 is, like, I love Cameo and Project Gotham 4. Those are two amazing games, but they're never going to get ported up to that service. Another good example would be, like, there's just so many fucking and I'm actually kind of wondering this now, like, the next Rock Band, or will these servers eventually go dead, like all that DLC, like, are they gonna, like, flip a switch that says this works fine offline? Like, that's the question. But, oh, man, I cannot believe they said all this crazy shit back then. It's so, like...
Yeah, that's thankfully they're under new management.
Like, looking back, it just seems like a fever dream, right? Like, just like, oh, that never happened. It never happened.
I mean, the bad news is they're now paying for it.
Yeah. In
the form of lost sales. Because, when we were talking to people at the PlayStation launch, some of them were still thinking that Microsoft was still doing that. Well, even though they went out and said, we're sorry, we're fixing everything, we're changing our minds. Damage done. When you cause outrage like that, it sticks to people's heads really easily, and it's going to take a while to do damage control.
Yeah, like, I was talking to that one girl I went to high school with, and she's even like, yeah, no, fucking... Yeah, and not only that, but...
And not only that, even if you change your mind for the better, now people are now thinking, we can't trust what you say.
Yeah,
because you're just going to change your mind. Granted, they changed their mind for the better, which is great. They changed their mind
on so many things. It's just like they said how the Kinect was so integral, and now they have they're going to be releasing.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. That's why I came up with this.
Also, if you are developing a Kinect game right now, like there's like Harmonix are one of the few developers who makes good Kinect games. Dance Central the Dance Central games are great, and that Fantasia game looks super cool. Like, how pissed are you if you're Harmonix right now? Like, you are like, because no one's like, very few people are going to buy the one with Kinect, especially if they update their interface to not be a horrible fucking mess.
I don't know about that because I mean the original Kinect sold pretty well, didn't it?
Yeah, but most people I know are like, we bought it to play dance games, and then it was never used again because it didn't work
Well,
right.
that's why they're probably. I can almost promise you, Microsoft's going to announce a Dance Central at E3. I mean, come on, they have to.
I mean, well, yeah, that's if Harmonix will make it. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's, you know, because Harmonix is currently like Amplitude. The Kickstarter got funded, so they're making that, and they're making Fantasia. You know, so who knows? I mean, I'd be super stoked if they were working on a Dance Central. And
well, they have to be.
I mean,
they'll come out this fall. Watch.
This new Kinect is really frustrating to me because on the one end, it's so impressive when it works. Like, it is like the way it tracks my body in a game like Kinect Sports Rivals, the way I'm sitting in the menu and I'm just like, Xbox settings, boom, goes. You know, Xbox, Netflix just goes. You know, or when I was at Alex's house testing the Kale Box stuff out, Xbox, Snap TV, Xbox, go to ESPN, and fucking ESPN is playing right there while I am, just playing Titanfall. Like, that's, like, that stuff is really impressive. The problem is, it doesn't work all the time. Like, watch, right now, my Xbox is, I don't know, like 4 feet away from me. Xbox on. Xbox, turn on. Xbox, on.
yeah, it doesn't work.
Xbox, turn on, goddammit. Xbox on, goddammit. On. Xbox on. Not turn it on at all. Oh my god, it just turned on. Just turned on.
So
it turns on, just as you give up, it finally turns on.
Which is exactly why I just prefer use the controller.
What's wrong with a button? It's just like push button, guaranteed to work unless your batteries are dead. But it's guaranteed to work, and you get your haptic feedback that you knew for sure you pushed that button instead of yelling at something and hoping that it actually understands what you're saying.
And I've noticed that that's the main problem with it. Like, the rest of the time, it usually works fine. Like, right now, I'm in the dashboard. Xbox, go to Netflix.
Yeah, usually the problem is with turning it on and off. I've noticed that too.
Yeah, it's only on for me. Like, I'll do off right now. Xbox. Okay, never mind. Decides not to do. Yeah, perfect example, right? We're experiencing it right now. This can be the Xbox One experience sometimes. It's fucking frustrating. I'll try it one more time. Xbox, turn off. Yes. Okay, it's off. Great. But yeah,
man, it's like the household is now gonna have a lot of yelling. Why? Because Daddy's Xbox doesn't work.
Well, I remember listening to I mean, imagine if you're a parent with this, like you're the dad in the house, and if it worked all the time, it'd be amazing. Like, it would replace, fuck the TV, DVR, all of those are terrible, all of those suck to navigate. So I can just go Xbox, go to blank channel. That's fucking amazing. The problem is Xbox, go to blank. Okay, didn't go. Xbox, go to blank. Okay, it booted up the wrong app or whatever. It's just it only works, I'd say, about 60% of the time, and the other 40% of the time, it's super fucking frustrating. And it isn't helped by the fact that the menus suck. So navigating that dashboard with anything but Kinect is fucking horrible.
Last year, kind of going back a little bit, I just remember that they always kept changing their statement. You have the Don Matrick mess, and then they were changing their minds all of a sudden because, well, kind of makes sense when you're being blown to pieces by your major competitor. But I remember thinking, and I remember they would say all these things, and I just thought, are they just creating the most unpopular statements and then changing their minds to make it look like people care, make it seem like they care? But even if that was the plan, probably wouldn't make much sense. Because, let's be honest here, of course you would change your mind. You're getting completely blown to pieces by your main audience. Just destroyed completely. And to this day, they're still getting pretty blown out of the water. So, yeah.
They're still selling really well. Let's not forget that.
They're selling really
yeah,
well,
really
but
well.
let's be honest here. The PS4 is,
I mean, like,
Well, but the
Yeah.
PS4 is setting records, though. So
Yeah,
it is
but
setting
like-
records, but still, when that's your chief competitor and they're doing that well, got some catching up to do.
I mean, it doesn't, like, even though the differences are minor, like, the difference between Watch Dogs is, like, 100 and some odd lines of resolution, but it's still, like, the headline to the uneducated or the people who just glance at shit is, oh, it looks better on PS4. Like, that's
which is the case with pretty much all the multi-platform games.
which had, like, it's either they're equal or they're better on PS4. So, like, all these headlines are coming out constantly. Like, it almost feels like the PS3 in reverse, except not as bad.
Yeah.
Like, that's almost what it seems like at times. And I feel bad because the games on that system are really good. Like, the exclusive games for that system totally kick ass. Like I thought Dead Rising was really good. Killer Instinct's good. Forza's great. Titanfall's great. Rise is okay. Peggle 2 was the shit. Like, that's... man. Man.
Alright, but moving on to the news story. So Phil Spencer's come out and he's pretty much released a couple statements regarding E3. Obviously, they aren't releasing any information because they're saving it for E3. But he said, E3 is a great time for our industry. Hopefully it brings out the best and what's great about our industry. He also said regarding to some user came out and said that he was hearing from the media that Microsoft's own studios would show pretty much Connect-only games. And he came out and said, 2 weeks and we'll be able to discuss what we showed. Did an end-to-end run of the briefing today. I like the show. People asked him about if there will be something special. He says, yes, I really can't answer this one. There are a couple announces that will be special for me. I think you'll be able to tell. Which I think he's regarding the Gears of War because Phil Spencer is a huge fan of the Gears of War franchise. He's pretty much the one who kind of told Microsoft to buy the Gears of War franchise.
Hey guys, maybe he's really excited for Battletoads. Come on,
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. When asked about being able to watch the conference on the Xbox One, he said you should hear something from us on this soon. Sony's doing actually some really cool at the press conference, which we'll talk about after this.
Well, hold on. Like, Microsoft always streamed it on 360, so why the fuck wouldn't they stream it on Xbox One? Like, really?
Yeah, they're going to. They just haven't announced it.
I mean, they don't have their own terrible version of Home to go premiere it in.
I don't even think
Sony
we
always
viewed it
does.
through home. We viewed it through the PlayStation Live player, which was completely broken.
Yeah, but you can also go watch it at home if you're so inclined, I guess.
Well, I was doing it through the PS3 because I had to hook up a capture device.
Yeah, I know, but like now we can just hook my well, we don't have to this year, obviously, because we're gonna be there. But if we ever have to do it that way again, which I'm hoping is not the case, but it might be one day, we have my laptop that we can run through the capture card to do it. Because that's a way better option. Oh, God.
But another thing that's been going on is this whole hashtag of bring back OG Xbox games. Where these people are like tweeting like games they want to see brought to the Xbox One. And he said, yes, keep the hashtag going. Hashtag bring back OG Xbox games and submit your ideas. And then people are like making all these mock-ups for the new like Xbox like UI and stuff like that. And he's like, good ideas. I really like that fans and sites spend time to mock up designs. Hashtag Xbox community. Like this is just the stuff that you didn't get from my Xbox management before. Like Don Matrick didn't care what everyone was saying. Like Phil Spencer is very well tuned to the community and listens, which is awesome.
I'm just like, one, all that's really awesome. But on the other end of this, I'm just like, what are the classic Xbox games that people are like, yeah, I want another one of those? Like, is it like, man, you guys should make Brute Force 2, Sudeki 2, Fusion Frenzy 3. Actually, Crimson Skies was a good video game. I was about to bring that up, but never mind. God, what else did like
I actually
Kabuki
liked Brute
Warriors
Force.
2? Brute Force wasn't bad. It was all right. Like it wasn't horrible. It was like if like they actually have some good games they can bring back. Like Armed and Dangerous 2 would be pretty sweet. Crimson Skies 2 would be rad. I'd be down with another Jade Empire. What else was on the OG Xbox that was exclusive to it? I think.
Was it Oddworld?
Oddworld was on the PlayStation, then the Xbox. And
No,
now
not Oddworld. What was that game?
Oh, like it was an offshoot of like Stranger's Wrath. Like
no, it wasn't that. It was freaking God, what was that game?
What was going on in the game?
It was like two weird characters. It was like two unique characters, and they were.
Yeah, that was Oddworld. That was
two weird characters in this one game doing things.
Were they like fish people?
I don't think it was Oddworld though.
If they were fish people, that was Oddworld, Munch's Odyssey.
No, I don't think it was Oddworld.
I remember Oddworld was one of the games that made me consider getting an Xbox. No, I've talked about the original Xbox at length, but I'd want to see another Mech Assault. The first two Mech Assaults are really good. The second one had a Papa Roach song in one of its levels for no real reason. It was funny. Yeah. Does anybody remember that Papa Roach song, Gang Away with Murder? Anyone?
No.
Okay, you should all go look that up. You want the Mech Assault level. And I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the game, and then one other thing, he pretty much came out and said that they're working on improving the load times for friend invitations on the Xbox One. So it's like so awesome just to see, like, since Phil Spencer's taken over, it's just, you've seen and heard the changes. Like, yeah, it's going to take a while for it to become, like, massively communicated, but I really do believe the Xbox One's in the right hands now, and we're going to see things actually go as they should be going. Which is good, because even if you're a PlayStation 4 fan, that creates more competition for the PlayStation 4, which means Sony's going to work even harder. So
yeah, I watched, so I was right, it was Papa Roach, Getting Away with Murder. And why is Mech Assault 3 not a thing? I remember that game did really well on the original Xbox Live, like a lot of people played it, and it was a fun game, so the fuck? Why aren't we getting another Mech Assault? I don't know, like, I like all these games from the early 360 and original Xbox that are just never gonna happen. Like, if we were to ever get Viva Pinata 3, I would be shocked.
Did that game sell well?
They did alright, like, they broke 1 million copies, they became great, and like, so did Banjo. Like, they all broke 1 million copies. I could see another Banjo-Kazooie. Yeah, like, I know, the first Mech Assault did really well. The second one did not. Which is weird because the second one's way better. You could jack people's mechs. Like there were power suits, and you would latch on the back of someone's mech, and like if you entered the button combo faster than they did, you could jack it, and then you could crush them with their own mech. It was pretty great. Oh my god!
I don't see them coming out with the Mech Assault just because they have Titanfall. I know they're different, but
because dude, Mech Assault was totally better than Titanfall.
Can you imagine? Mech Assault was like that giant peripheral thing they made.
No, that was Steel Battalion.
Oh, okay.
Now, Anthony,
actually, because I was thinking of Steel Battalion because I thought that was Mech Assault. I was like, wait, it was Steel Battalion. Just like, can you imagine operating a Titan with all those controls?
Dude, that'd be fucking intense.
That would be intense, but you'll also be blown up in like 30 seconds because you're not working fast enough.
But, I was about to say, like, we should totally do a 60-minute access of Mech Assault sometime, but then I remembered, oh wait, the original Xbox Live is shut down, so we couldn't play the best part of it. I don't know, I'd still actually like to check out the single player. Like, that game, once again, it was cool. Like, it You know, like you had all these different types of mechs who had different abilities, and then if you didn't like playing a mech, you could choose to be in a tank or like a chopper or a power suit or like even on the ground. Like what I would do is I would take a power suit, plant a bunch of bombs around our flag, climb up to a top of a building, get out, and like just detonate them anytime they got near the flag. The shitty part though is if a tank or a mech blew up my building, I was pretty fucked. Oh man. See, fucking how awesome would that be? Like you could hop on top of buildings, they'd collapse and shit. Like you'd be like you'd start multiplayer matches in a full town full of buildings and then just be on a fucking wasteland after like 10 minutes. That's awesome. Very similar to that Superman movie that came out last year.
The Man of Steel?
Yeah.
Except in that case, it was more like, hi, we are innocent civilians and we don't have a town anymore. Help.
Yeah.
Hi, we are businesses in downtown Metropolis. All of our buildings have collapsed.
It's still
because of Superman's baddies, and like it's a really cool graphical show off when you show like how a building deforms and that kind of stuff. But really, Superman and the baddie that he was fighting took down downtown Metropolis. That's gonna take a long time to fix.
It's still so weird to me that like Mech Assault 2 just has this this random Papa Roach song in one boss fight. It's so weird to me. Oh well. Anyway,
Papa Roach was a big fan and asked that they be put in the game.
Maybe.
But
what is Papa Roach doing now? Does anyone know what that dude is doing now? I remember he had another song in the early 2000s that was really popular.
But continuing on with E3, Sony's doing something very cool for their press conference. You will, in select cities, you'll actually be able to go to the movie theater and watch the Sony press conference on the big screen. And to get tickets, now, if you listen to the podcast, you might be too late, because I know they're starting to sell out in some theaters, so go fast. But check out PlayStation.com/E3 experience to see if they're in your city, as many theaters around the country, mainly IMAX theaters, are showing the Sony press conference. It's like crazy. Like, this is the first time we've ever seen this happen. I know there's one that's only a few miles from me that's going to be showing it.
Yeah, it's really weird how these companies are, because Nintendo is doing something similar to last year, where it's like, yo, our games that are at E3 are going to be at Best Buy, or some of them anyway. Like, it's really weird how these...
Well, the way Nintendo did it was really dumb, too. They just picked the most random Best Buys.
Dude, they're doing it again this year, though. Like, I looked at... First off, there's no Best Buy in Nevada. That makes sense. But you look at California, and, like, there's not one in L.A. or San Francisco, but there's one in Chico. You know, like...
Really, Chico?
Yes,
really, Chico? Like, so if you lived in LA, you have to like take an 8 or like 9 hour drive all the way up to Chico. Chico's like the Sierra Nevada, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Why there?
I mean, we are closer to Chico. If we weren't going to E3, Anthony, I would say let's drive to Chico to go see these games.
Why?
Well, because I would want to go play these games.
Do they have something in the SeaTac area up in Washington? Because that's where their headquarters is.
All right, hold on.
They're Nintendo
off,
America.
I'll check Washington. I'll check California. Okay, Washington, they have Linwood and Tacoma. They don't even have one in their own neighborhood area of Redmond. Or the next one next to it, Kirkland. But they have one in fucking Linwood. And one fucking, 20 miles south down in Tacoma. Yeah, okay.
And in California, it's like, you can't play it in LA, one of the most populated areas in the United States, but you can sure play it out in Chico.
I read that wrong. It's Chino. Okay, they got all right. All these cities except for San Jose are so random. Chino, Citrus Heights, Costa Mesa, Culver City, Folsom.
Oh, Culver City is pretty big.
Yeah, Geary Boulevard, Mira Mesa, Mira Huerta, San Jose, and Yorba Linda.
See, I'm not very familiar with California because it's like a gazillion cities within a city, so...
Yorba Linda is like upscale Orange County.
Okay, now let's do Nevada. Oh, wait, there isn't any.
Chino is more like the Ontario area east of LA.
All right.
Yes.
I know Michigan pretty well because I have relatives there. So let me check that one. I know Michigan and Arizona pretty well because I have relatives in both of them. And I know Colorado pretty well too. Okay, I don't know two of these. I know Michigan has three, and I only know one. It's Ann Arbor. The other two are Rochester Hills and Southfield. I have no idea where the fuck those are.
I'm gonna check
Arizona,
Rochester.
yeah, and Arizona has Tempe, and I've actually heard of Tempe, Arizona. So way to be. Colorado has Denver. Finally, a city that makes sense. And Broomfield. Where the fuck is Broomfield? Oh my god, just Nintendo. And it's Super Smash Fest.
Broomfield is way out north end of Denver, in a way, because
Okay.
they have like many cities within a city area. It's part of the metropolitan area, so you kind of have a lot of weird names. Like Chino is like part of the Ontario area, and Broomfield is like north of Denver.
Okay, so what this is it's in-store demos, and it's for the new Smash on Wii U. And it's if you're one of the first 70 attendees to pre-order Smash Bros. For 3DS or Wii U, you get a special collectible Smash Bros. Coin, and you will get a $5 Best Buy certificate when you pick up your game on release. Also, if you bring your 3DS or 2DS, you'll be able to play games like Kirby Triple Deluxe or Mario Golf with other fans. This is just the God. I mean, I guess it's kind of
Some of the
cool.
decisions these companies make.
This is so...
Nintendo in particular is just you can never
Well,
figure out what they're doing.
As long as we're talking about Nintendo, do you guys want to talk about that YouTube thing?
Oh,
There's a
yeah,
new
they're
YouTube thing?
opening up a network similar to like Machinima.
Yeah, basically, Anthony. So, Anthony, we post to YouTube. We don't really monetize much off it because it doesn't give us that much money. But let's say we did. Let's pretend we were making decent money off of YouTube. We obviously wouldn't cover Nintendo games that much because we couldn't make any money. We couldn't monetize off them. And that what'd be the fucking point then? God forbid creating just for creating. Fuck that. Capitalism, bitches. But anyway, what it is, it's an affiliate program for YouTube Let's Play creators. Nintendo has announced a new ad revenue sharing program, which will entitle, quote, proactive creators of YouTube Let's Play videos featuring Nintendo games to get some ad revenue. Quote, they say, we are preparing an affiliate program in which a portion of the advertising profit is given to the creator. Quote, details about the affiliate program will be announced in the future.
There's
let's see.
kind of a problem with that idea.
I'm not done. The newly announced affiliate program will reportedly share ad revenue between Nintendo, Google, and the video's creator, but only under special circumstances. YouTubers will need to seek official permission from Nintendo before they're able to receive their share of the revenue.
Here's the problem. You've got, say, 10,000 people wanting to do this. Good luck. Only 100 will probably get lucky enough to even get in.
First off, let me tell you, Nick and I both tried contacting Nintendo, and it is a ginormous pain in the ass. At least from what I have experienced.
Absolutely.
And I am going to complain about this. First off, they don't have any contacts just for press, really. Like, it's the same email for everyone unless you meet a contact at an event. And even then, like, unless you are just it's ridiculous. Like, it is like trying to catch a horse on your bare feet, like, on foot. You know, like, it's ridiculous. And this is, like, it's really weird to me that this is happening, because Mario Kart 8 is out in 2 days, or this gets posted Friday. So it's out today. Go buy Mario Kart. It's really good. But... my copy won't be here till the 5th because
guys, Mario Kart's like, it's gonna be posted on Friday anyways. Mario Kart, it's awesome, go buy.
Yeah.
I haven't even played it yet.
No, but come on, we know what to expect. It's fucking Mario Kart.
Yeah.
we
now,
know
what now? Is it better than Mario Kart 7? Because, you know, like, here's the thing. Mario Kart 64 was pretty awesome. Double Dash was really awesome at the time.
The Wii one was kind of a stumble.
Yeah, it was kind of stumble. 7 was awesome. Because, here's the thing. The problem with Mario Kart Double Dash was that while it gave us some awesome memories, playing it recently, they didn't handle like carts. I basically described the handling of the Double Dash carts as some softly sprung lawn tractors. Was what it felt like.
So
it's like the handling characteristics were just laggish and just
I'm actually really mad. Like, I lost my copy of Mario Kart 7 recently, and I had to get it replaced. And now I have to rebeat that entire fucking game. And for most games that isn't bad. But, like, I 100%ed that game. Like, I had every cart, every gold medal, every accessory. I was I was the shit at Mario Kart 7. And now I'm going to have to do that all goddamn again.
And that's the disadvantage of saving your game actually in the game rather than the device.
But continuing back to, first off, all the reviews for Mario Kart 8 have been really rad. But one of the new features for the game is you can post clips and races to YouTube. So, I mean, Nintendo is finally starting to get, I feel Nintendo, does these baby steps towards, the internet. And then, years later, they finally get in the pool. Like, the Wii U is them finally embracing the internet. You know?
Yeah, but then you start hearing things like none of their developers have ever actually tried using PlayStation Network.
Yeah,
it's like what?
This Mario Kart 8 thing is one thing that's weird about Mario Kart 8 is that if you register it with Club Nintendo before the end of July, you get a free game. Like that's really weird, and it also kind of tells me where Nintendo is right now.
I think it's pretty awesome.
It's pretty awesome.
I can get Pikmin 3.
I can get New Super Mario Brothers U, but it kind of shows they're also really fucking desperate because. I mean, to be fair, if I was buying a system right now, I'd buy a Wii U because it's the cheapest and has the best games on it right now. That's right this instant, though. Obviously, end of this coming year, we'll see. But oh man, I look at Nintendo, I look at that, and I'm just like, okay, Nintendo, what are you going to show me at E3 to be competitive? Okay, you're barely next to the Xbox One. You're getting blown out of the water you're getting blown out of the water by both of them. But your total sales, you're still barely ahead of the Xbox One. And even though you had a year head start. And the question is, what do you show? And this Wii, right now, if you buy a Wii U, it comes with a game, either New Super Mario Brothers or Zelda or Mario Kart. And if you buy Mario Kart, you get another game. So theoretically, for $360, you could have a Wii U and 3 to 4 games. Value proposition. That might be an easier sell to parents, I guess. Because I don't know about you guys, when I was a kid, $400 to my parents would have been a hard-ass sell, especially if it doesn't come with any fucking games. But, $360 my parents, it comes with 4 games. That would have been an easier sell. But that's just me as a kid. What about you, Anthony?
It took a lot to convince parents to even get me an Xbox 360 because $400 10 years ago, yeah, that's a bit more.
$400 now is still fucking expensive.
I know, but back then it was quite. Oh yeah, convincing them of the Wii was actually not too bad. $250. That's all it took for you to get a Wii, and there was only one model of the Wii that you could get. It was a standard model. You just had to call every single freaking retailer in your freaking city and wait in line like it's a midnight launch. Among the strangest demographic ever. You had businessmen standing there, you had businessmen standing there, you had moms and dads standing there, and then you had people like me standing with my dad at freaking Toys R Us to get a Wii. But a Wii was pretty easy. The Xbox, to get the Xbox though had to work a lot harder, a lot harder. Because for one thing, that system $400, and that was the 20 gigabyte model.
And
in,
that
2007.
does not include a fucking game or an Xbox Live subscription.
Yeah, it doesn't have Xbox Live, but I didn't care about the time because I wasn't really ready to get into online gaming yet. But that was just the system, and then I had to convince my parents, hi, $40 for Oblivion, please.
Yeah, and obviously now we're grown-ass men with jobs, and we can just say, fuck it, I'm going to go buy a system when I want to buy a system. But, or if we can afford it anyway. Or like, okay, the system's, or I want to buy a system soon, I'll start putting some cash away. But like, before age 15, like 15 or younger, because you get a job when you're 16, it's very much like you're dependent on your parents as like a Christmas gift or like a good, like my parents, like, if you get good grades, we'll count it as your birthday and your Christmas for a system like that, for something that expensive anyway. And oh man, like it like I feel as though Nintendo could really get in with younger kids and families right now, while the Xbox One and PS4 are still going to our demographic. Because Nintendo has pretty much lost our demographic outside of fans of Smash Bros. So, and Iwata even said like one game can turn anything around. If it's not Pokemon, it's Smash Bros. So I think if Nintendo's smart, what they'll do is what they're doing with Mario Kart, they'll do with Smash Bros. Buy Mario Kart, register at Club Nintendo, get a free game.
You know what? Like for someone like me who owns a Wii U, sweet. Yeah.
Like,
it's like I never imagined I would play Pikmin 3, but then it's like, hey, well, you can choose between Wii Party, Zelda, Pikmin, and actually, let me say that again.
Mario.
Wii Party. Yeah, it's like Mario, Pikmin, Wii Party, or Zelda. And it's like, oh wow, I never really thought I was gonna get Pikmin, but sweet, I can get Pikmin.
I look at it, I'm like, the Wii U for me, and I think for a lot of people, is gonna go down as like another Dreamcast, another original Xbox, a PSP as a system that didn't do like commercially super great, but it's gonna have a lot of cool stuff on it that people really liked. Like that's what it seems like.
The PSP did pretty well.
Yeah, but not like it gets compared to the DS.
Sold like,
all right.
Well, compared to the DS, yeah, but
yeah, all right.
That's like saying the Xbox One isn't a success compared to the PlayStation 4. It's still a success.
Well, yeah, the original Xbox was a success because it got like, yeah, you could argue that. Well, yeah, like there's a lot of stuff we could argue here, but either way, like, you got. Let's see. I mean, like, I know it's gonna be one of those systems that, like, commercially wasn't the best thing in the world, but there's a lot of people who really like it. And the thing about the PSP is like, yeah, it did really well, like hardware sales wise, but games on that thing sold like shit because everyone just pirated them. That's like everyone pirated fucking PSP games, just everybody. No shame about it either, most of them. Just like, fuck it. Yeah, man. I don't... Nintendo, like, yeah. So, man, these companies are doing weird things for E3. Like, really weird. Like, exceptionally weird.
If I wasn't going to actually be at the press conference, I'd definitely get tickets. The tickets are free, by the way.
Yeah,
I would definitely go to the theater to watch. That'd be cool.
Well, I would hope it would be free for like, let's be honest, like these press conferences are essentially like, if you're not going to them to play the games, they're basically 2-hour advertisements. I mean, let's be honest here. Like, I love finding out about all these new games, and I'm super into it, but like, that doesn't make it less of a 2-hour ad. Oh man, but what were we talking about? Oh yeah, like, would you go, like, if there was a Best Buy that was close to you, would you go check out Smash?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like, I don't know, Anthony. How far is it to drive to Chico if they actually were in Chico, not Chino?
I'd say about an hour, hour and a half.
Yeah, I'd say fuck it. Let's drive to Chico. Let's go play Smash in Chico.
It's like you drive an hour and a half and just like, all right, guys, we're in Chico and we're giving you exclusive coverage of Smash Brothers out in the middle of nowhere, and then we drive an hour and a half back.
So we got any other news?
Dumbest road trip.
As far as the only other news is, for 1886 is once again also in the news. Looks really, really good. But the Order 1886, which I called it's been delayed till early 2015. When I checked out the game in February at the Sony event, I was like, this game looks really good. But there's so many things that need fine-tuned. I was like, there's no way this game's coming out this year.
2015 is seriously looking like one of those best years for video games ever.
Oh, definitely.
Like, Kingdom Hearts is next year, Final Fantasy's next year, Metal Gear is most likely next year. I wouldn't be surprised if Batman gets delayed till next year. Uncharted's probably going to be next
Batman
year.
will get delayed. Halo
is next year. Like, just, holy shit. Like, the end of this year is, like, going to be Batman and Destiny, and that's it. And Smash Brothers.
Yeah, even Jeff Keighley, because Jeff Keighley knows most of the announcements. He came out and said that there's going to be some games for 2014, but a lot of games for 2015.
God.
Yay, 2015 seems like a great year to buy PlayStation 4.
Yeah, March, the spring's probably going to be crazy. You're probably going to have The Order, probably Metal Gear. All the games that are delayed will probably be coming out in 2015. It's going to be so crazy.
But hey guys, Heroes of the Storm
Uncharted, I think Uncharted will be summer 2015.
Hey guys, Hero of the Storm is still coming out this year. That's something we're all looking forward to, right? Right? I'm the only one?
You admit Heroes of the Storm.
Dude, it looks so fucking good. Oh my god. And then they just put out a new character trailer the other day of Murky the Murloc. Anthony, you need to see the trailer of Murky the Murloc. It's 40 seconds and it's hilarious. Oh god, just so out of my mind for that game. Every week I check to see if I'm in the alpha and nothing. Like they keep every week they add new people to the alpha and it's like nope. And it sucks. Anyway, so the one news story I have is, or the two rather, apparently Watch Dogs is not performing that well on PC. Apparently, especially on AMD cards, it seems to be having a shit ton of issues. So, yeah, apparently especially on AMD cards, it stutters and tears in the PC versions, even on their more powerful hardware. They do say adjusting texture quality mitigates the negative effects more than changing anything else.
That's kind of surprising. Because it's like, really, the game is just kind of broken in a way on the PC, and it runs worse on AMD hardware, which is funny considering that the best place that game runs is on consoles, which is powered by AMD hardware. Granted, obviously the drivers on consoles are different and all, but still, it's kind of a little funny.
That is irony. Watch Dogs. Speaking of Watch Dogs, it is the fastest selling game in Ubisoft history. It has a sales target of 6.3 million copies, and they have yet to say how many has sold so far, but apparently it's well on target. And that does not include the Wii U version coming out later this year. So
I think that game's gonna do so terrible on the Wii U. I think it's gonna do so bad.
Which sucks, because that game looks like a game that would totally take control of that tablet in a cool way, right?
Right. Yeah.
The reviews for Watch Dogs are in. Most of them hit midnight. We sadly didn't get a copy. We are gonna do 6-minute access of it, which will go up the Monday after this. Good job on Game. By the way, props to GameFly for actually getting to me on the day of release for once. Yeah, Watch Dogs is rocking an 82 on game rankings right now, with the lowest score being a 65 out of 100 and the highest score being a 95. So both of those outliers are from places that I've never heard of. So Canadian Gamers Online.
Woo!
Yeah. And then, my God, like, that's a website, really? Okay, sure, whatever. And then
Pretty sure they
PlayStation.
might be saying the same thing about us, though.
Bring it. I'll take a bunch of Canadians. What are they gonna do? Say polite things to me? Fucking talk to me about hockey and bore me to death. So next up, and then the lowest score was PlayStation Lifestyle. As for like major big sites, most of them are giving like an 8. Giant Bomb seems to be the lowest score out of the bigger sites with a 3 out of 5. I've played a whole 40 minutes of it about, and it seems all right. Some cool
What do
ideas.
you think about? I've heard a lot of people saying visually it's kind of disappointing.
Kinda like it doesn't look as good as Infamous. I'll tell you that. Like for an open world game, still looks
Yeah.
good. Just I think everyone was expecting like, holy shit, this is the first fucking beautiful open world game, and no, that's Infamous. That said, it still looks fine. Like I don't see why everyone's complaining. It definitely does not look like that trailer they showed though. Final news story I have is Apple announces that it is acquiring Beats for $3 billion.
It's finally official. It's been rumored for a while now, but it's finally official.
So now all Apple's headphones can have way too much bass and be terrible.
I don't know. I don't think their purchase was for that. I think it's more on the digital music front because iTunes sales have been going down year over year, and Beats has their whole like Beats audio thing going on, and I guess because the thing is, if Apple really wanted to make good headphones, they could. So, and I mean, the headphones they include with the iPhone aren't that bad. The earphones they include. So I honestly don't think they're buying them for their hardware technology. I think it's more for their software.
I just get super pissed at Beats, and the reason I do is because like I know a ton of people.
It's all about the bass.
Exactly, and no, like there are other parts to sound other than bass. Like I don't want to strap 2 subwoofers to my head. You know,
it's a product from 10 years ago, basically, is what I'm hearing.
Like, and they
it's like one of those things where it's like back when everyone actually had to put a giant sub in their car.
And like they look all right, I guess. Like I like the fact they covered multiple colors.
Well, yeah, people use them as a fashion icon. They didn't buy them for audio quality. They buy them as fashion.
Actually, to be honest, bass has a pretty darn broad appeal as far as things goes. Because let's be honest here. Again, subwoofers in cars.
Yeah. All right. So, like, I've always looked at them just like you could go to Audio Technica and get way better headphones for the same price, or Astro, or Sony, or almost anyone.
But hey,
like, you know your shit is overpriced when Sony is cheaper than you. You know, like that's how you know. You know, like my Astros, just the headphones without a mix amp, are $100, and they're amazing headphones. Like get all the highs, all the lows, bass still rumbles. My only complaint is they're on ear instead of over the ear. But as far as I know, aren't all or most Beats headphones on ear?
I believe so.
So yeah, that is another.
Well, no, I think they have like Beats Studio, which is like their $400, $500 headphones, like are over the ear.
Who the fuck would buy $500 headphones?
Oh, people do.
Like, oh my god, like I kind of
if you're editing music and doing stuff like that, yeah.
But like even then, you're not using Beats. You're using like real, good headphones.
Yeah.
You know, like I mean, my Astros I got them for Christmas, and I know that a set of A30s with a mix amp is $200. And like that seems expensive to me. So like I don't even want to know what fucking like the Beats equivalent of that would be. Ugh, God, this is just dumb. Anyway,
Yeah, like I said, I honestly don't. Apple's got hardware. It's just I think they're trying to get their iTunes radio really going, and they're trying to get iTunes back up and build the profits. And I think that's what
I
they're
mean,
bringing in for is for the software front.
I use iTunes, but that's because I'm at this point I have an iPhone. I'm kind of fucking locked in. And actually, as long as we're talking about this, like, I told Anthony this, like, Anthony knows I've been tablet shopping for like a year now, and like, I thought like I pretty much lowered it down to like an iPad or a Surface, and like, Surface is just way too expensive if you want a good Surface. So it's pretty much lowered down to the iPad. And over the weekend, I went over to Memorial Day weekend. I was over at my friend Tori's house, and she has an iPad Mini, and I got to check it out and play Hearthstone on it, and chat see how a book reads. And I was like, this is perfect. Like the iPad Mini is fucking perfect. At least until my eyesight starts going bad. Like that thing is the perfect size, slip in a bag for books. For like, you'd still do some games on it. My only thing about it is I'm not willing to pay more than $300 for it. And the one with Retina and a better processor for games is $400. So I'm hoping that Apple this year does another refresh of the iPads, and the current one with Retina drops down to $299.
Oh, they definitely will this fall.
Yeah,
they'll announce new iPads to go along with the new iPhone.
Yeah, like that's what I'm hoping. Like they do a refresh. The current $399 gets bumped down to, or the current $499 gets bumped to $399 or $299. Yeah. Anthony, what do you think?
I'm not really a tablet person because I don't exactly have a need. I don't have a use for one yet.
For me, it's literally just books. And I've already bought a couple books on my phone, and I figure I already have all my music on it already with iTunes. And it's the only tablet that plays Hearthstone, which in my opinion is the only tablet game that matters. So, it also plays XCOM, so I guess that's a plus. So I figure, like an iPad Mini with Retina seems like the way I want to go. So.
Yeah, the iPad Mini is really nice. I mean, when they first announced the iPad Mini, I was like, why? I was like, why would anyone buy that? And my girlfriend, she has an iPad Mini, and when I use her iPad Mini, it's like, when the time comes for me to buy an iPad, I think I'm going to go with the Mini as well, just because you hold the iPad Mini and then you hold the iPad. It's just like, the iPad's too big for me. Like, the iPad Mini, you can hold it with one hand if you want to. Where the original iPad is just too big for me.
Well, I mean, the iPad Air is a lot lighter, so I mean,
it's not about the weight; it's about the size of it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I got to see Tori's dad's regular iPad, and then hers, and I was like, I definitely am leaning towards the Mini now. Like when at first, I was definitely like, if I buy these, I'm getting a regular iPad. But now I'm like, you know what? I can definitely see myself getting me, especially
if they keep the same hardware.
Yeah, exactly, and also because like the purposes I would use a tablet for is like it's like 50% e-reader, another 50% is like a couple of games and then movies. So like I don't particularly need like a really big fucking screen. And the fact that like I'm just not willing to pay the $499 for a tablet. I'm not. Like I have a laptop that I would do most of that stuff on. But like $299 and maybe $399, like that's kind of a pill I can swallow a little bit. Yeah. Like the second you get over that $300 price mark with tablets, though, that's when I start to be like, never mind.
Oh yeah, the Surface definitely isn't for you then.
Yeah, no, what's that? How much was the 3 they just announced?
They go all the way up to like $2,000.
Yeah, that thing comes with an i7.
Yeah.
Dear Jesus.
But what they're marketing there is actual laptop replacement, where you buy their keyboard and it's like a computer on the go.
I mean, like that's what Bremen's doing essentially. Like Bremen has a Surface Pro 2 that he bought with his tax return. I love how we both bought Microsoft products with our tax returns. That's funny. But and that's what he's been doing, and that's all our comics are drawn on that Surface Pro 2 with Manga Studio. So I mean, I don't know, tablet shopping, fun stuff. I don't know, Nick. Like, what would you use a tablet for? I'm kind of curious.
I would use it just for like when I'm sitting on the couch, like so I don't have to go get my laptop. I could just browse the web, some games. Nothing much more than that. Just games and web browsing.
Yeah. Also, another bonus for me is since my house doesn't have air conditioning, like keeping my laptop off and not like running all the time would probably be, extend its life a little bit during the summer. But we should probably head to questions.
Sounds good to me.
And comments, of course. Jenny Smith says, I am glad that Batman is shaping up to be pretty awesome with the order delayed. Now I'm just hoping too many great games are delayed. Not too many great games are delayed this fall. Yeah, it seems like a lot of good ones.
A lot of games have already. I mean, Halo 5's pretty much. Halo 5's been delayed. The Order 1886 has been delayed. I mean, this fall's gonna be all right. I mean, yeah, we'll have a couple good games. But I mean, the only like super big title that is yet to be delayed for this fall is Metal Gear.
I mean, Heroes of the Storm. What more do you need? And if you really need more, Smash Brothers and Bayonetta.
Yeah.
Bayonetta
Smash Brothers
2
is pretty huge.
Yeah, I'm really stoked for Bayonetta 2 though. Like that. Like I said, I didn't play the first Bayonetta until last year, and I beat it in a week. Which, when you are working at AT&T, beating any video game in a week means you really, really like it a lot. And yeah, Bayonetta 1 was the shit. So Bayonetta 2, yeah. So next up is from a crazy mofo. Or crazy a mofo. E3 needs to come like now. Oh, sorry. E3 needs to come like now. Like right now. Damn, it's going to be awesome. All right.
Yeah, man, we're really looking forward to it.
Yeah, Bronson really does read the comment like literally the way you type it.
Jay Sway says, hopefully not too late, another great podcast. What do you think about Battlefield 5 and Order being delayed? Order, like, here's the thing.
I'm actually excited for the Order. I mean, I actually want to play it, so hopefully they'll have it for play during E3 this year. But I'm looking forward to it. They just need to prove that it's more than graphics and it actually has really good gameplay and pretty good story. As far as Battlefield, it's like I'm just kind of getting tired of the Battlefield franchise.
Yeah, Battlefield, I'm done, and the Order could be cool. I know that there's gonna be stuff released on consoles this holiday season that I want to play, even if the list is just like if what I buy this holiday season is Killer Instinct Season 2, Destiny, Bayonetta, there's still a bunch of games that are supposed to come out this holiday season that I really want to play.
Destiny, I cannot wait. That's why I don't want many big games coming out this fall. All I want is Destiny, okay? Just give me Destiny. That's all I want. Delay Metal Gear. I don't want to have to worry about finding time for both. Delay Metal Gear, make it better, and just give me Destiny.
So I'm looking at my personal taste, though, and I'm like, okay, I want to play Batman and Destiny. Bayonetta, Heroes of the Storm, and Smash Brothers. A Warcraft expansion is coming out this year. So everyone's going to see me disappear for a month. There's shit coming out this holiday season that's really good and matters. It's just that they're not the Metal Gears, don't worry, calm down.
Destiny's the big one.
I know one thing we forgot about. Well, I think Batman's just as big as Destiny. I think Batman's
Batman's big, but there's no. Destiny is gonna kill Batman in sales.
Alright, well,
Destiny will probably sell 2.5, 3 times what Batman does.
I don't know. Well, yeah, because there's a multiplayer. Fucking
Multiplayer, remember, this is freaking Bungie. It's a freaking half. This game's budget is $500 million freaking dollars. Like, this game's marketing is going to be so insane.
I'm kind of curious. I'm gonna look up the Halo Reach sales, or Halo. I'm gonna look up Halo Reach, which is Bungie's last game, unless you count that weird tablet
But yeah,
game.
but keep in mind that Destiny is going to be on 4 platforms.
All right, well,
PS3,
yeah,
3. It's not coming to PC, is it?
no. Okay,
Yeah,
so
PS3, 360, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One.
Halo Reach did nearly 10 million copies, 7 of that in North America.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Destiny, like, over all of its consoles. I wouldn't be surprised to see Destiny sell over time, probably about a solid 25, 30 million copies.
Oh, over its lifetime, yeah. All right, so Arkham City, because we just pretend Arkham Origins doesn't exist. Arkham City, between all 3 systems it's on, sold. Wow, the Wii U version did really poorly. Did about 9 million copies.
But that's across multiple platforms, though, so...
Yeah, that's true. I'm kind of curious what Arkham Asylum did. And Arkham Origins, even though it was probably the worst of the bunch.
Oh, Origins was definitely the worst of them.
Although it did have that really... Okay, so it pulled 8 million copies. Alright. Now let's find out about Arkham Origins, even though it's probably still selling. Alright. See, 1.5. Wow, that did surprisingly well for a Wii U game. Okay, yeah, so it did 5 million. So, I don't know, well, like, yeah, I definitely see Destiny doing more, especially because Activision's going to market it to death. But
yeah, that game's going to be all over the place.
I still think as far as quality goes, I think Batman's going to be equally as good. Persona 4 Ultimax Suplex Hold is coming out this holiday season. There's a lot of shit coming out this holiday. Like, don't worry, people. There's gonna be a lot of shit to play the second half of the year. And you want to know what? Next year is going to be dominated by Persona 5. So, there we go.
In your books, Bronson.
Oh my god, Persona 5. Alright, so Kiyotenchi says he has 4 questions for us. Do you think Uncharted 4 will follow the story of Francis Drake due to early leak of The Last of Us screenshots? Which, if you look in the background, it shows.
I think they kind of have to stick with that. At least for now. I think for now they'll stick to it, yeah.
Alright. So, I don't know. I think Francis Drake, like, going back in time, that could be cool. Or maybe that's just a level. Like, you don't know. Second question is, do you think Nintendo will just 3D print collectible trophies from past and future Smash games if the NFC does function well? I wouldn't mind playing a re-release of Super Mario Bros. 3 using Fox's pistol or swapping Link's sword for the Xenoblade to save the princess. I think okay, so I guess he's talking about playing like classic NES and Nintendo games, but with the NFC figure function where you're like, okay, now you're playing the like A Link to the Past, but with Mario as the hero, I guess. Which, I don't know, if they made them play differently, that could be really cool.
Yeah, it could be cool.
Because I always wanted to break the living shit out of a Mario game by giving him the Master Sword. I think that the Connectless Xbox price drop is awesome. I was planning to buy one late this year since the Kinect P90X training looked cool. I always buy my games at discount, but unless something I really, really want. I don't know why people never noticed that they can get a Wii U Nintendo Land bundle for $199 straight from Nintendo using its refurbished Link. Same deal with Sony and Microsoft, though it might take another year for to come out on those. Yeah, but no one is, like, there's something I've kind of learned, and that's, like, I don't buy consoles used. Like, I buy a lot of shit used. Dude, this I buy clothes from the thrift shop. Macklemore would be my best friend. But used video game consoles, especially after working at GameStop, are a big no-no in my book.
Yeah, I would never buy a console used.
Unless it was from a friend, someone I knew. I'd buy used shit from Anthony because I know he treats his shit right.
Thanks, Bronson.
Yeah, no problem, Anthony. I'll buy used.
And I can trust Bronson to break something for me.
Yeah.
No, really. There was this time when my Xbox, this 2007 Xbox that I got, the first one I've had, some point it's gonna break, right? Because let's be honest, reliability still wasn't good yet. So it was the graphics chip is about to let go. There's some really weird colors, but it's not breaking into the warranty. But maybe Bronson can break the system into the warranty. So I gave it to Bronson. He played it for a while and got it to E74. Sweet, got a warranty repair for that. And what they did was that instead of sending me a new modern revision of the Xbox, they sent me back another Zephyr, and I'm like, nope, I'm selling this, and got an Elite Xbox.
Yeah, so that's I sold my 360 in early 2009 because I was tired of its shit. It froze quite frequently. It ran very hot, and I had to so the disc tray, when I pressed the button, it wouldn't open, so I had to smack it. And then go, "Ay."
And you were still able to sell it?
Dude, Game Crazy, I could not believe Game Crazy bought it when they said, "Hey, the disc tray isn't opening." I'm like, hit it. And it opened.
And they still bought it?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
The best part is I was really good friends with the employees there. Because I frequented the place. I bought a game almost
Well, maybe that's why they took it then.
Yeah, I frequent that place quite often. And
Feel
I
bad
remember
whoever bought that.
That's where this next story comes in. Someone bought it, and they called in and said, "Hey, the disc tray isn't working." And then she's hit the top of it. And,
my gosh.
And it ejected. He's like, "Oh, okay." And he hung up.
Are you serious? He was fine.
I probably would return that system because something that malfunctions that much, I would think, if I have to keep hitting it to open the disc tray, what happens if I hit it and it will never open the disc tray ever again?
Okay, then so what? You didn't have to hit the disc tray that fucking hard. It was it was just a quick tap. I don't know, you knock on not like you knock on a door, but pretty close, just like that. I remember my friends and I, we'd play Rock Band, just all right, hold on, be stuck, smack it, comes out, ayy.
Yeah, but let's keep in mind, refurbished and used are two different things.
This is true. This is very true. But at GameStop, they are refurbished. And by refurbished, it means I clean them out with air and make sure that they work.
So they're not actually from the manufacturer.
Well, I don't know about these. But these, also GameStop
does have the exterior.
Yeah, we clean
the refurbished are usually consoles that have gone bad, and they fix them up and then repackage them.
Yeah, that's true. Which that seems like what this is. Even then, though, just I would still just be very wary of that.
Well, yeah, I would never buy a console if it wasn't brand new.
I would buy. Like I said, I would buy from friends. I know who treat their shit right. I treat my game consoles right. That's why I have a launch PS2 that works. That's why.
Yeah, my one's PS2 still works too.
Yeah, the disc tray makes weird noises. I probably need to get in there and see what's up. But other than that, still working well. And my N64 is a tank. But there we go. That's that. All right, so I always wanted to go to E3, but the more I listened to podcasts growing up, I found that PAX is a better choice. Although this year I might have a chance to experience it somewhat. Was hoping to get a ticket, but phone screwed up during registration for the LA IMAX experience. sucks, but I'm on the waiting list. But meh, I'll check the Best Buy before I hit the line at 2 p.m. to play some Smash. Smiley face. I would say if you are a member of the general public and you really fucking like video games, then both events are really like it depends on what you want, I guess. Like I've only heard about E3, Nick's been to both, but like E3 is very much like if you want to see the new shit before it's out, this is the place to be.
Yeah, PAX is more community.
Yeah, and it's cool. Like, it's awesome. Like, I love going to PAX. And we forgot that news story, so we might as well talk about it. Hey, guys, PAX sold out in 45 minutes. Today. Today of recording, not today,
That's
Friday.
crazy.
45 minutes. It used, like, 2011, it was, like, 2-3 weeks. 2012, it was, like, 2-3 days. 2013, it was, like, a day. And it was an hour. What's going to be next year? A minute? You know, like, this is fucking insane.
It's getting to the point where
I'm surprised they haven't tried raising the prices.
They have.
Well, they should have raised it even more.
They added a day and raised the prices, and still people fucking, like, go nuts.
I like when I found that out, the first thing that came to my mind is they could rent out the Las Vegas Convention Center, and it would still sell out in 2 hours.
Well, so they have PAX East, which that sells out in about 2-ish weeks. And then they have PAX Australia, which I didn't keep track of because it's in fucking Australia. And I would never ever go to Australia because fuck Australia. Everything there is trying to kill you and dangerous. Fuck that place. You got fucking redback spiders.
We love you, Australian listeners.
We love you guys. We don't love your continent. Okay? Or your country. Because holy shit, it is incredible. Drop bears, redback spider, funnel web spider, stonefish, blue-ringed octopus. Fucking just everything there is poisonous or trying to kill you. Fuck that.
Camel spiders.
Camel fucking spiders. You know? Just, dude, what? Ah! God, fuck. No, tiger snakes, taipan snakes, all kinds of horribly venomous snake. Like, oh my god, like, fuck, dude, no. Like, if we, like, eventually we will have panels at PAXs. And when that happens, when that dream happens,
we'll just bring a blow-up doll that looks like Bronson. You
will not get me to go to PAX Australia. I will go to PAX South San Antonio. I will go to PAX East Boston. I will go to Gamescom out in fucking Germany. I will go to Dragon Con in Atlanta. I will go to Tokyo Game Show in Tokyo. I will not go to fucking Australia.
Dear goodness, you make it sound like the wilderness is within the city itself, and I'm like...
Dude, I have read stories about funnel web spiders and redback spiders, like, hiding on people's toilets. Yeah. Like, oh man, your most personal private moment. Yeah, boom, spider bite. Oh look, 3 minutes, your kidney's gone. Yeah, fuck that. Fuck that. No, thank you, sir. Oh.
You know, Brunson's saying all this, and yet somehow I'm like, you know, I'm still okay with going to Australia.
Yeah, Anthony,
because that entire continent didn't just die from, like, the bubonic plague or anything.
Well, that's because they're all a bunch of ancestors of hard-ass convicts. But moving forward, like, not only that, but like, hey, Anthony, you like to go swimming? Oh, fucking stonefish. Like, oh, it looks like a rock on the bottom of the shell. I can step on that. Fucking poison. You know? Oh, walking under a tree, drop bear. Fucking.
What's a drop bear?
It's like a koala. It's like a koala bear, except it actually drops from a tree and actually tries to hurt you.
Yes, basically.
That sounds awesome.
Fucking horrifying. Oh
a vicious koala bear is basically what it is.
That sounds awesome.
Koala bears are actually mean as fuck. Like, koala bears are mean animals. Everyone's like, oh, fucking not a platypus. No, it might be a platypus. Fuck, it's like part duck, part beaver, and has the poisonous claws. That's a platypus, right? Yeah. Yeah, fuck those things are there. See? Everything in that country is trying to kill you. No.
That's funny.
Just no. You know? And it's hot year round? No. Oh my god. So yeah,
honestly, that entire country would have died already if that was the case. And
no, I told you why. They're all the people that originally lived there were hard ass convicts who taught their children the ways of how to live in such a harsh environment. And now it is continued through the generations. Now they're just fucking, just like they're used to it.
Come to Australia, you might accidentally get killed.
Exactly.
Come to Australia.
Yeah, it's like you have to sign a waiver to fly into Australia.
I'm fucking never going to Australia. Like ever. You cannot make me. You cannot actually when we're doing this full time, Nick probably will make me because and then he will be my boss. It was like, no, you are going to
Australia. Yeah, but in
Australia.
that case, Bronson's going to show up in a hazmat suit.
Yeah, exactly. You cannot stop me from wearing a hazmat suit to the panel. Oh, God. So to our Australian listeners, I'm sorry. I'm not going to our country unless my job depends on it.
And even then, he's gonna dress up in one of those super protection suits and stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna look like Master Chief, but fat.
And before he uses a toilet, he'll be sure to inspect every inch of it.
Fucking. Well, I mean, just imagine that. Just like one of the most venomous spiders in the world bites you, or you're taking a shit. Like how first off, how shitty is that 911 call? I
got bit in the ass.
Yeah, I got bit in the
I got
ass.
bit on my ball sack.
Or even I got bit in the leg while taking a shit. Please get over here now. Just. Oh, also some of those spiders, their venom can paralyze you. Oh god. I've read about just horrible animal after the amount of things that can kill you in Australia is just horrifying. It is the worst. But Kyotenshi, I don't know what part of the country you live on, but you should go to a PAX. They are a blast. Scalpers on eBay are selling tickets for $500 right now.
How much do they sell for?
What I've noticed is if you buy right before the convention on eBay, you probably get them for $200, which is double what you'd pay normally. And actually, I know people who live in Seattle who, if you go looking for scalpers outside the convention, you can probably get single day passes for about $10 to $30 above face value. So if you know what you're doing, you can pay not too much more and get in.
But if you're traveling, I don't know about traveling without having guaranteed tickets.
Yeah, but then you just be a tourist in Seattle, which in my opinion, that's not a bad thing. There's a lot of cool shit to see there.
Well, to be honest, though, it does kind of suck because you get to you realize there's 10,000 people that get to enjoy something that you can't.
Well, you could do what this one guy. You could do what this one guy did when Quinn and I went. This was so fucking cool. This was just the coolest shit I've ever seen. He was dressed as the engineer from Team Fortress 2 with the guitar, and he could actually play music really well, including the engineer song from the Meet the Engineer video. And Quinn and I went up, talked to him, and he was trying to earn money to pay a scalper for a pass, and this person was done with PAX for the day, so they just handed them their 3-day pass. It was the coolest shit I've ever seen.
That's awesome.
And that's why I love PAX. It is it shows that the gaming community is it is real people who do good shit for each other, and it's just on the internet that we're all horrible people. Which I mean,
yeah, it's everyone gets together and they're all happy, and then they get on the internet and they terrorize each other.
Basically, it's really great, isn't it? I mean, we all know how we know the game community is great because look at Extra Life. Like between all the communities on the internet, including ours, we earned over $3 million, $4 million for sick kids. Yeah, like how much money does Child's Play raise every year for like abused women and sick kids? Like how there's tons of different gamer charities. There's tons of different like gamers doing good. And like the great thing about PAX is you get to meet up with these people in real life and enjoy time with them, and you meet some really cool people there. And it is a shame that it is only 3 to 4 days, typically for most people once a year, because you either live on the East Coast or the West Coast. Uh, and now they're gonna have it in the down south. But I wanted to bring this up. How much is it going to suck ass if this happens? If we have to do Game of the Year awards into CES, into PAX South? Because they're back to back to back.
That would be interesting.
Looking at it one way, we're going to be freaking stoked and excited about all the cool things we've been doing. On the bad side, once it's all over, we're going to hibernation for like a month to regain our energy.
Yeah, like just you will feel so dead. As for going to E3, like if you can get passes as someone who is not press or in business, like yeah, go for it. Like that, like I like a lot of game, like I know when I was a kid, I wanted to see E3. Like PAX didn't exist, so
the thing about E3 is that there's a reason why it's not open to the general public. It's a trade show, much like CES, because it's like CES except for games. Because for example, CES, they don't allow the general public. As much as everyone wants to come in and see like the latest 4K TVs, or at least the new 4K TVs at the time, or the latest in robots and the next 500 iPhone case manufacturers.
Because there are never enough iPhone cases.
Yeah, it's a trade show. It's a trade show for professionals. The companies pay a lot of money to have huge booths, and they show to professionals, potential buyers, potential to journalists and all that kind of stuff. They show it to professionals to talk about the product. They don't open this to the general public. E3 is kind of like the same thing. Buyers, big companies, media, trained people come in and cover the event.
What we're saying is chances are at E3 you're going to see a lot of really cool shit, but it's all going to be the games that you're playing and not so much like the cosplay or the concerts.
Here's the thing about E3. You can't go in and cosplay. That's the thing. That's like a big difference right there. Whereas since PAX is like a gathering of gaming culture and gaming community, yeah, cosplay, totally go for it, flat out. Whereas in E3, probably the most you can do is maybe a tattoo and changing your hair color. You can't dress up there. That's a big no-no. If anything, they flat out don't allow it.
Like unless you get permission from the company.
And like there was this one person on DeviantArt. She dressed up as like Twilight Princess Link and did an extremely good job. However, she had to get Nintendo to ask E3 to allow her to do that. That's what you have to go through if you want to cosplay, and only then you have to get like a major company to approve of it. So, and that was back in 05 or 06. 06. Yeah, 06 makes sense. So, it's a trade show. E3 is a huge blast, but it's a huge blast for different reasons because, it's a lot of media playing new stuff, whereas PAX is a huge blast because everyone who loves games is getting there because they share the love of games.
And like, if you really want to play those games before they're out, they're at PAX. They're just, and they do a couple announcements.
Well,
not as many. Not as many, and
not like... you have to be media to play, too.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. But even then, they still, like I remember they had Borderlands, they like 2012, so more than that. They had Borderlands, they had Halo, they had PlayStation All-Stars. They'll have most of the stuff that you're excited about for the holiday season.
Yeah, some of the big titles they'll keep low. Like, you won't see, like, Metal Gear there, for example.
Yeah, like, I know that when I went in 2012, all they had for Last of Us was, like, a video, and when they did Uncharted 3, they had the multiplayer, but the single player was just a behind the door, closed doors video that they made you give them your camera and not tell anyone what you saw. So, and then they gave you a T-shirt that didn't fit because for some reason no one carries 2X T-shirts. But yeah, but like the advantage of PAX is you get to cosplay, and you get to see panels, and it's more about the community, and you get to see weird shit. Like, well, this has to be one of my all-time favorite cosplays. So, Nick and Anthony, you're aware of quest givers in MMOs and RPGs, right?
Yeah, they kind of have like a giant exclamation mark or icon over their heads that says, "Come to me for a quest to move forward in this story," kind of thing.
Yes. Well, this guy cosplayed as a quest giver. And if you went up to him and talked to you, he would give you a quest. Like, go take a cosplay picture with this character, or go do this. And if you did it and came back to him, he would give you swag or candy. Like, that's an example
That's crazy.
Another example of what happened at PAX one time is there was this guy who made over the course of the first 2 days of PAX, made a costume out of nothing but swag. Like the free shit they hand out at booths. And then he got a tablet out and it said, "Swag Monster wants your swag." And we saw him shuffling around the convention floor, and we gave him like a couple of buttons, and his costume proceeded to get bigger. You know, like the engineer story. Like, there's all kinds of weird, neat things like that you only see at a PAX. You know, like you're not gonna meet Will Wheaton in the bathroom of E3.
You will get yelled at at the bar as you stand in front of the TV, like I did, though.
Yeah, I love how Nick and I have completely different experiences with Will Wheaton. So, the final, let's see, also wanted, alright, so P.S. Reminding everyone to go on to the E3 area on PlayStation Home, since they tend to give out free exclusives to games, betas, 3 months of PlayStation Plus, and Sony's music program. I don't know if they do the same, but we'll do the same this year, but last year was awesome. Yeah, last year was cool. I enjoyed getting a free month of Plus and all that other good stuff. So yeah.
Cool. Cool. Anything else before we close it out?
You should go see us on iTunes and rate us a bunch 5 stars on iTunes and give us positive reviews on iTunes.
Yes, please.
iTunes.
Let me check
iTunes.
something on iTunes.
iTunes.
Sorry, give me a moment here to type something. No, I don't want to download your new update. I don't have time for that.
Maybe they understand I'm trying to get a point across. Write a review on iTunes, please. Please.
Oh, shit. Oh, man.
But yeah, we'll all be at E3, so definitely look forward to that too. Cannot wait.
Yeah, there's nothing really new here. Seriously, people, rate us and get us on iTunes. And because we are on iTunes, we can be on your iDevice. Yeah. And if you're on Android, well, you can still download the file and put it on your phone.
Yeah. So
not as simple, but you can still get us on. You can still put us on your phone and listen to it while you're outside.
Definitely.
All right, guys. Well, that concludes this week's episode of Unscripted Access, number 92. Thank you guys for listening. We will have one more. Our next podcast is gonna be the pre-3 podcast, isn't it?
Unless you want to do another podcast and then record one the day we get in, like that's an option. But I would rather
we aren't gonna do that.
Yeah,
so we'll have our next episode, guys, is the big pre-E3 podcast. Guys that have been following us, or gals that have been following us, you guys know what we do. We're gonna go through each company individually, and it'll be fun. So
and then we're gonna have a we just arrived in LA podcast. Oh god.
There's gonna be so much stuff, guys.
There's gonna be nightly game casts when we get back to the hotel.
Oh, I am not doing that.
They might be short. They might be short, but they'll be nightly.
I mean, there's like some other cool things that we're gonna do with this E3 too. Like Bronson and I and Bremen, we're gonna film kind of like the
E3 experience, I guess.
Yeah, it's like here's what we're doing when you're not seeing us on camera or on podcasts. And you get to experience what it's like to drive for 8 hours to California, except you get the condensed 45-second version.
Yeah, like
of driving. Because let's be honest here, as much as I would love to mount a camera in my car and film 8 hours of me driving straight, because that, actually kind of would be, I don't know, I like driving, so to me, for some reason, that would be a little entertaining. But for most people, they don't want to see 8 hours of California farmland, so...
I mean, like, there's going to be that point where I know you guys are going to film me sleeping. Like, that's going to happen, I know.
And how you're, like, suffocating in the driver's seat. Well, the thing is that because you're sitting in the front, you have to stay awake.
Well, yeah, that's why when we first start this trip, I'm probably going to go into the back. But I know...
At 9 a.m., you're... yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you just said the magic words. Oh, at 9 a.m., oh, yeah.
9 a.m. For me, that's normal. For Bronson, not so much.
Well, it's not like, so... Like, I have work. I have work at 9 a.m., and I'll wake up for work and just... I hate myself. I hate life until noon. And that is very much the way I just operate. I can be up and functional at 9, 8 a.m., but I don't wake up and feel good until noon-ish. Sometimes 11 or 10, but usually at least 10. That's the earliest. But yeah, we'll be filming the drive. We're going to be writing impressions articles and having videos and just as much shit as possible.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff, so definitely look forward to that.
Oh, man, just... Whew. Oh, yeah, our eating contest. That, too.
Oh, yeah, that.
We're gonna die.
Nick, can you do me a favor and start scouting places in your area that sell, like, those gigantic-ass Rice Krispie treats?
I can see if I can find a place, yeah.
Because
guys, this will be after E3, so it doesn't prohibit our performance.
Yeah, because let's be honest, you don't want to see us look really pale and ill on camera.
Yeah. You see
that would
me
really
doing an
suck.
interview and I like throw up all over the person I'm interviewing.
Or I somehow randomly drop the camera and sprint in the nearest bathroom before I shit my pants.
Oh, God.
Bronson probably knows what I mean, right?
Yeah, Anthony, I remember that story. God damn it. Oh, God.
It's kind of funny now, but at the time, well...
Yeah, at the time, you were not a happy man, and I was just like, well, I mean, you probably should go home then.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
Here's a fun tip. Before you ever try and drink 2 Starbucks Frappuccino Mocha drinks at once, before going out to midnight launch, consider whether you're able to handle it or not. Otherwise, you might get...
Or just go to 7-Eleven. There's a 7-Eleven we could walk to from my apartment.
Yeah,
like... So you can walk to everything from my apartment, just go get a couple red lines.
Yeah, but...
Well, God.
As far as the Starbucks Frappuccino Mocha drinks go, if you're going to drink 2 of those at once, just please, like, be aware of what you could be doing to your digestive system, because, well, I didn't know, and, let's just say after we got the PS4s, things kind of went really downhill from there.
Anthony doesn't drink sugar or eat sugar that often. He doesn't, drink energy drinks that often or coffee. So, him drinking 2 red lines, his heart would stop and he'd probably be able to see the future.
I would be in the hospital.
His heart would explode, he'd see the future, and then he'd die. That's what would happen.
This is how you know, your caffeine intolerance is crazy. I can drink a whole red line and barely feel it. Aaron
has high caffeine tolerance as well, but it doesn't, energize him or make him feel... It just makes him sick. What it does is... I get a little nauseous in my stomach, but I also just get wired.
I'll drink a whole one, and yeah, it'll keep me up a little bit longer, but...
The problem is I start to fade. I had a large fucking cappuccino from Starbucks last week when I had to be to work at 7 in the morning, and I drank the entire thing, and it kept me up for it. I was feeling good for 2 hours there, and then just the fall happened, and
Oh
it
yeah, the
hit me
crash.
like a punch to the fucking face. I like had to get up and go to the bathroom and hold my head underwater for a minute. It was the worst. It was just
Nothing's
like,
worse than the crash.
oh no, especially at work, especially when you do the kind of work I do, because like if no one is picking up the phone or just hanging up all the time, it's literally just like just chatting with the person next to you and typing. So it's just like, oh my god, why? Um, oh man. So anyway, I think that's it.
Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you guys for listening. Next week will be our pre-3 podcast. Look forward to that.
Man, we're only a week and a half away from E3. I say a week and a half because well, gotta get down there first.
Frightening, man. Just so frightening.
Yeah.
Alright, guys. Well, thank you guys for listening. We are out.
Bye. We love you.
Bye.